Welcome to the Hoopsville Coaches Corner, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm Dave McHugh, and I'm now joined by WPI men's basketball coach Chris Bartley. And first and foremost, sir, welcome to the Hoopsville Classic.
Thanks, Dave. It's great to be here.
Well, we certainly appreciate you coming down from the great New England area to make this trip. At least the weather cooperated. You can never know; it could go either way.
Yeah, we've had a few "Where's Worcester" comments, but we are from Worcester.
Yes.
But, we're excited to be here.
Yeah, there are two Worcesters technically in Division III, and they're not spelled at all similarly. Early start to the season, big games. We're talking to you before the Chicago game. You got this one, and then tomorrow you'll take on Cabrini. Thank you. I actually forgot that for a second. Interesting setup for you guys. Get a chance to play two teams you probably wouldn't normally see unless you actually got to Salem to play for a Final Four. Looking forward to it? What are your expectations?
Yeah, I mean, this is a great opportunity for us. We're a little bit in flux in that we have a group of experienced guys, particularly in our backcourt, and then we're sort of meshing them with a group of first-year guys and one transfer. So it's a great opportunity for us to get on the road, be together, create some cohesion, and also, play great competition in a phenomenal atmosphere.
You get it. Yeah, you're talking about the kind of meshing the team together. Every year, you guys in the last few years have been in the conversation. Even though you lose people, everybody loses people. But it's not like you rebuild. You just kind of retool, and you're right back in the conversation. You've always downplayed your team to me as well when we've talked in the past. Is this a team that everyone's going to be talking about still come January and February? Is this a team that's going to be leading the NESCAC once again, or is this a team that you even still have questions about?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're sure yet. I mean, one of the things I'm most proud of, and I think the people at WPI are most proud of, is our consistency. Mm-hmm. We've won, the conference regular season, I think 9 out of 11 years, and been to the NCAA tournament 8 out of the last 10 years, and we seem to win 20 games or more for a long streak. So we're really proud of that. Obviously for our program, the next step is to take, the next step.
Yeah.
And these experiences playing in the Hoopsville tournament, is invaluable, to find out about your team early on, so, and against some competition, as you mentioned earlier, that, we're not familiar with.
Right. So
I think it's got that tournament feel, it's got that postseason feel. So I think we'll hopefully grow up fast through this, and, win, lose, or draw, we're going to be a better basketball team, I think, coming out of here.
I was going to say, this is a test against teams you don't normally get at the beginning of the season. You guys certainly have a lot of choices up in New England, but you're getting a chance to see a team from the Midwest. You're getting a chance to see a team now technically from the Atlantic region, Mid-Atlantic area. This is a nice opportunity for you guys, kind of a litmus test at the beginning of the season that you don't normally get.
Absolutely. And, also, in game preparation, it's different because our guys aren't familiar with their guys. So, they haven't played against them. In New England, there's so much interaction,
Mm-hmm.
Among the players and the schools. So this is really a great, chance for us to, take a look at a new type of opponent, prepare for a different type of style of play, and, see how we adjust, in a short period of time. So it's exciting.
If memory serves, and it could be wrong, you guys didn't hesitate when the invitation came along, I think, when I said, hey, what are you doing, right? Yeah. And your SID has said on numerous occasions to me, you guys are excited. What are you excited about? Are you excited about the chance to be able to play somewhere different? Are you excited about the teams you're going to face? What is it that you guys are really excited about?
Well, I think, it starts with, competition,
Mm-hmm.
Playing some of the best teams in the country, the programs that have been really successful for quite a period of time. And then I think, the prestige of the tournament of itself, how well it's conducted and run. I've talked to coaches that have played in it and, raved about their experience. So it's really those two things. And then the third thing, again, is, I think the opportunity for our guys to get off campus, represent WPI. We just were at an alumni event with about 40 of our alumni from this area. So that was a great opportunity for us as well.
Did they come to the game?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. We got a good crowd then. Let's talk about this new MAC. It's always been a good conference, but in the last few years, it's kind of emerged as a conference that's up there with the NESCAC now in New England. And, you know, all the headlines can't be about the NESCAC. You've got MIT, who's been to a Final Four in recent years, picked with you to be the conference champs. You can't have two, but, you know, that's how the coaches saw it. Emerson last year was a factor. Babson has come along to be a real threat. Springfield is always there. You just never know from Coach Brock what he's going to bring to the table.
You're making me nervous already.
I know, I apologize. But even down to the bottom, and I don't mean it negatively, Coast Guard is always a challenge for everybody, and they were a shot away from the Final Four not that long ago. What has changed about this conference that has made it so competitive and so good right down through the ranks?
You know, I don't think anything's, you know, really changed other than the fact that, you know, just like everybody, you know, in New England, there's a lot of good coaches. Everyone works extremely hard recruiting. You know, in our conference, we've got, you know, tremendous academic institutions, which, you know, for schools like MIT, they draw people from all over the country, where our program is a lot more New England-based.
Right.
You know, I think they're getting kids from all over the country. So we have schools that are specialized in certain academic areas that might help them. But top to bottom, I just think it's, you know, we have 8 teams in our conference now, and, you know, literally, you know, I think the thing that impresses me the most is just when we're playing, you know, we have to play everyone home and away.
Right.
And, you know, when you're playing that second game against an opponent, especially on the road, those are some incredibly difficult basketball games. I think that's something that is tremendous about our conference, is that we have to play everyone twice.
Yeah.
And that breeds a lot of, you know, great competition, rivalries, and you better hold your home court.
Yeah. And of course, the home court important to get to the conference tournament as well, and then on to the NCAA tournament, which, as we've mentioned, you guys have been in quite often. By the way, I do also love the wide-ranging amount of mascots that we have in this conference. You guys got the goat. MIT's got a beaver. You got a bear out of the Coast Guard. I can't remember the rest off the top of my head, but it's a wide selection and grouping of mascots. It's unique.
Lee Corso would enjoy it.
He would. You're right. Yeah, we got that'd be some interesting heads to put on Corso. When you look at this weekend. Is this okay, let's just see where our team was, we want to execute, it's early in the season, we want to do some good things, or is this, no, our goal is to win, we want to win both games, and we want to position ourselves for down the road?
You know, we certainly are here to compete at, you know, the highest level possible.
Right.
You know, we go into every game, you know, preparing to win. So we know that, you know, different teams are going to pose different challenges,
yeah.
And I think that's one of the great things here is, you know, we're going to play a Chicago team that, you know, is incredibly athletic, has size, has a great scorer in Smith, you know, and their point guard position, I think, is, you know, now been solidified. I know they had an injury,
yeah.
But, you know, they just execute so well playing against a team like that is, you know, so precise in how they execute. They don't beat themselves. They actually remind me a lot of Randolph-Macon, who we played in the NCAA tournament a couple years ago. You know, so, you know, that team's going to pose a different challenge than maybe the team that we played in the second game.
Sure. Yeah, Cabrini's going to be a whole other beast.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
When you look at the end of the season, how important will these games be?
Well, I guess that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Know?
But I mean, just in the teams that you're facing.
Yeah. You know, I think another benefit of being in this tournament is, you know, the opportunity, like I was alluded to, is playing different styles. So there's some parallels that we can draw with how Chicago plays basketball versus, you know, like how a Babson or MIT or Springfield might play, and how, you know, Cabrini their system might match up with another team that we'll see down the road. We've got a lot of good teams on our schedule to come. You know, so our thing is, you know, focusing on that, you know, thing right in front of you and not worrying about, you know, down the road. I think that's kind of how we've approached it always, you know, just, you know, try to be consistent as you possibly can every single day, whether it be practice and, you know, or getting ready for a competition. That's been a little bit of a challenge for us so far. I think with, you know, developing that consistency in practice. I always say to our guys, you got to be a great practice team first. You know, you're only going to get, you know, you're only guaranteed 25 games, but you're going to have a lot more practices. So who you are as a practice team really, you know, becomes who you're going to be in a game time team. So, you know, we're sort of, I think, a work in progress, you know, kind of chopping away at it every day and plugging away. I like our team. I like some of the things that we can do. We're not there yet, I know that. And, you know, I guess I'll see how close or how far away we are
Sure.
After this weekend.
I'd be remiss, and I think your SID would chastise me if I don't at least bring up Bartleys Burgers and make sure that you're still being treated well by your brother.
Yeah, no, Bartleys Burger Cottage, it's a landmark in
Yes.
Harvard Square, right across from Harvard University. My brother runs it now. My parents still go down there
Yeah.
a few days a week. My father's sort of like a figurehead. You know, he signs autographs out in the line in
Nice.
front. Yeah, no, that's how I learned a lot about coaching working in that restaurant.
Hey, really?
Let me tell you.
Really?
Yeah.
How to just let things go sometimes, I suspect?
Well, sometimes I would have, you know, a Harvard med school
Yeah.
student, you know, working on to the right of me, and then to the left of me, you know, could be, you know, a high school kid from Cambridge and Latin. So
Yeah.
it was like, you know, learning to deal with different types
Different
of people.
worlds,
was,
yeah.
was
Yeah, I
a
can.
lot of fun.
That makes sense. By the way, has Rusty gotten his burger yet?
No, not yet. I mean, we got bounced out of the first round last year,
Oh,
so we
man.
had to make a little bit more of a run in the NCAA tournament to
You got to
get
earn it
that
a little
one.
more.
Yeah,
huh?
you got to earn it.
I understand. Well, thanks so much for coming to the tournament. We certainly appreciate it. Glad you're here. Looking forward to the games. This will be up on the web after they've already played Chicago, but they also have Cabrini coming up on Sunday at 3 o'clock before they head home. As always, we give the coach the final word. Any final thoughts you'd like to share with those who are watching?
Well, I'd just like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here, and obviously, you know, we're excited about being part of this wonderful tournament. And I'd like to say thank you to the alumni and friends of the program that showed up out here in Baltimore to cheer us on. So thanks a lot.
Absolutely. He is Chris Bartley, head coach for WPI, here in the Hoopsville Coaches Corner, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings.